What's up, everyone? Hope everyone's doing well today. I have a friend, a future competitive powerlifter, and fellow athletes here to talk with me. His name's Arturo. I've known this kid for the last 2 years. Met him in powerlifting club, and his numbers blew me away. This kid was so naturally strong, even coming into high school, and has such a naturally high work ethic that I think he puts most competitive powerlifters and bodybuilders to shame with how hard he puts work into the gym. But I'll let him introduce himself and just let's get the conversation going.
Hey, I'm Arturo. That's me. Um, yeah, Colin said, yeah, me and him went through powerlifting. I guess it was mainly like my real passion. I got into it through like football. And pretty much ever since then, ever since I started improving, getting serious about it, it's pretty much been a love for me ever since. Now, with everything going on, unfortunately, I can't lift, but I'm making the best of it at home.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's one of my passions, and I'm hoping I can compete soon, and hopefully, get those numbers official.
Yeah, I remember last year. Is either my sophomore year or my junior year, and your freshman year or your sophomore year.
Yeah, you're ahead of me. Yeah.
Yeah, he was saying that we were originally supposed to do one, but then we didn't have enough people.
Yeah.
And that got canceled.
Yeah.
And then this year we got hit by a worldwide pandemic and we can't even do anything.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it sucks.
what were your numbers coming into high school?
Coming in,
or just your freshman year when you really started seeking to excel in powerlifting specifically?
well, when I came in, I didn't even know what really mainly lifting was. Like, I'd go to the gym, I'd lift nonchalantly. I lift in like the family gym area. But then after my freshman season of football ended, I actually started getting into it. And then by the end of freshman year, I think I hit like a 260 bench and maybe like a 360 squat, maybe at like 180.
Dang.
And then I think over the summer that same year, I hit like a 385 pound squat. So that was pretty good.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Especially like not knowing really like much about lifting. I remember my freshman year, I watched a ton of videos, tried to gather as much knowledge, and my bench by the end of freshman year I could do one plate for 5 reps. And then by the end of the sophomore year, I think I hit 205.
Mhm.
And then my junior year, that's when I hit 225, and then subsequently like 275 and 285. But such great numbers coming in so soon. What did your workouts even look like? Like, how did you program for those numbers?
Like now, like how I built into it now.
Yeah, like how's your training changed over the last few years?
I guess as I started to get more serious about it, like the big mistake. Okay, side note, a big mistake that I made before I actually got serious is I didn't deadlift like my first year, which people would think, oh, oh, he didn't squat his first year. Usually that's the first problem is people don't like leg days. I love leg days. I don't like moving after my workouts. But I just didn't deadlift seriously my first year. But pretty much after that, I'd have this is like my main thing now. I'll have my compounds, and then I'll do full body 4 times a week, and at least one time of those I kind of go off of feel a little bit, but at the same time, I'll push myself. I'll make sure I have at least one light day. I call them hybrid days, where it's like half of my sets are heavy, half of my sets are light. And then I'll have a heavy day where I'll go full heavy. And 2 out of those days, no matter what, if it's a light day or a heavy day or a hybrid day, as I call them, I would do deadlifts. But basically, I'd start out with the hard stuff, like compounds. I'd do bench first usually, and then squat. And then afterwards, I would go and do deadlifts. That way, because I'm fresh with energy and I'm able to get my best numbers that way. But then afterwards, I do core. I only do body weight core, which is surprising. I don't really know. Well, at the gym, they have this thing where it's like you can twist your torso, and it's pretty obliques, which I started doing that. before they closed, and it very much helps. Like along with the bodyweight workouts that I'm doing, or I have been doing, like I'll put like a 10-pound plate over my head, and that's pretty much my ab workout along with the obliques. And then the next, I usually shoot for like, I don't count the first compound and ab exercise as time. I just go off of, I just do it and get out the way. And then afterwards, I usually do about 2-ish hours of isolation stuff. Like I'll do like hack squats, or very rarely now I'll do like leg press. I always want to work calves. Then I'll do stuff like the push downs and like just basic isolation exercises to work on my lacking muscles. But yeah, that's pretty much my workouts. They're usually like 2-3 hours long. Usually 3 is mine. It's really long, but after a while you get used to it.
The length of your workouts is really impressive. Spending that much time in the gym going hard is a feat that's a lot of people truly don't understand, like how beat up you get afterwards. You know that feeling like after a long workout where you feel amazing, but it also feels like you have the flu without like any of like the head and upper respiratory stuff, where you're just aching and it's so amazing. Like, how do you fight soreness, and how do you recover for the next hard workout the next day after that?
So I usually when I come to my workouts, I usually like, I have like a little technique, like even when it's off the gym, I'll have some type of like caffeine. On my rest days, I don't, which a lot of people think it's like really difficult, which at first it is, but I only get caffeine on the days I work out because it gives me that energy. And Colin told me something about, and I learned it in actually psychology. It's like adrenal fatigue, where basically your adrenaline gland, like any other drug, when exposed to like, I don't know what the exact neurotransmitter.
When it's putting out too much.
Yeah, when it's repeated, it's like every other drug. Caffeine does the same, where you're just used to it. And so basically, like I'll caffeinate myself, I'll hydrate. I'll do my hard workouts first, basically my thing is like, eat the frog, get it done. Whether or not you want to do it, which usually I do want to do it, but I get the hard stuff out the way first, and then there's some days where I just don't want to. But the thing about it is, everyone has that side of them where you don't want to do something or you don't want to get it done. But the thing is, you got to have that side of you where it's like that demon side of you where it's like, oh no, we're doing this. I don't care what you say. We're gonna get it done. Suck it up. And my thing is, train hard and smart. Obviously, you want to get enough rest. That's why I do 4 days a week. On those 4 days, you got to go hard at it.
Exactly.
And pretty much, that's my thing, Like I remember I used to hate like getting up early in the morning. Like I used to think people who getting up in the morning to do workouts were crazy. And then one day I woke up, couldn't go back to bed. I ended up going to the gym. I left around like 5:30ish. Which is pretty late for a lot of people who get up at like 3 or something, but I actually started enjoying it, waking up early in the morning, because then I get my compounds out the way and I just have to do the easier stuff in the afternoon. But, pretty much dealing with soreness, it's a lot of like a balance between rest. I'm a power lifter, so I'm right now at that stage where it's like you just eat anything. But nutrition is a part of it. Water, hydration, caffeinating myself, and I guess that's pretty much it. A little secret weapon I learned is I'd mix half a container of Gatorade, then I'd put a can of Rain. I tried Bang once. It did the same for me as Rain, but I pretty much it's like that's the violence juice, I like to call it.
That's hilarious. Yeah, Rain is a good energy drink. Bang for me it tastes. I have around the same general taste. Rain it's a little bit less like of a. It's more of like a sweet, less of like a sharp taste, like Bang. I think a little bit less carbonated, but either of them are good. And pre-workout's an amazing tool. I would highly recommend, like anyone who's listening, don't rely on pre-workout to get out of bed. Don't rely on pre-workout to get your work done. But if you do need a little bit of an extra push, if you've already grinded throughout your whole day and you know that you won't be able to perform at your best for the gym, having a little bit of pre-workout, having some stims isn't going to do any like bad to you. It's only going to help you push a little bit harder. But like what Arturo was saying earlier, especially with like adrenaline, so norepinephrine, it when it's pumped out, it pumps out with serotonin as well. So the longer your adrenal gland is pumping out and pushing out energy, your serotonin stores also become drained as well. And after this, that's when you start noticing the extreme fatigue, the extreme tiredness, just the general like feeling like crap. But what you can do, there's a supplement called tyrosine, which allows your serotonin stores to actually, and dopamine stores to actually come back and replenish. And it allows you to, first of all, it destroys your caffeine tolerance. So you won't have to take like 5 bangs or 5 rains to get hyped anymore. And it also, it makes you more sensitive. So you get hyped at a little bit less level, but also increases your dopamine and serotonin stores, allowing you to feel good and actually put out the most energy you can during the gym. So my best advice for you is don't become fully reliant on it. It has to start with yourself. You can't focus on drugs and other external variables to push yourself to work. Has to be self-driven. But what motivates you? Like, how do you stay driven in the gym?
Well, physically, like physiology wise, like I tried pre-workout. I got it from a GNC store, but it wasn't that good. It actually made me feel bloated afterwards.
Yeah.
So my main go-tos are Rain or black coffee. Like, I know a lot of people are like, oh, black coffee.
I love black coffee. Had a cup earlier today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you, after a while, like that first, month of drinking it, or that first few times, you're like, ew, this is kind of gross. But then afterwards, you kind of get used to it. And that's pretty much what my go-to caffeine is. Motivation-wise, I guess it's just like, there's a lot of motivation, like different motivations for me. Like there's, like obviously staying healthy is one of them. But there's a lot of other things that are like more than just simple things. Like I'm doing it for the people who like matter a lot to me. I'm doing it for like, self-improvement. Like I'm doing it for like that sense of like, oh, I got to get stuff done and I got to train. Like a lot of people think, oh, going to the gym is like training your body. Yes, that's true. But you got to train your mind as well. And you got to train you got to train your what is the word I'm looking for? Like your mental stamina and like the way you can grind through things when everyone else is giving up and when everyone else is quitting. So it's pretty much like while having fun, like you got to find enjoyment in it. If you don't find enjoyment in what you love doing, you just, my main thing is find a job that is like fun to you. So that way, when you go to your job, it's not like, oh, I got to go to work. It's like you want to go to work, and you don't even think of it as work. You think of it as like, oh, I'm doing this for fun. That's why a lot of, NFL players or like powerlifters, or like any type of athlete, they love what they do. And those who love what they do a lot, they'll keep on doing it and they'll keep on practicing, and they usually become greats in that sport because they love what they do.
Exactly.
So my motivation is just, loving it and doing it for the betterment of me and doing it to hopefully motivate other people and basically be a role model and, kicking butt basically.
Yeah, I love that. That what you just last talk about is something that I can so relate to. When like you start lifting, it kind of is a little bit of a chore, and then once you fall in love with it, it becomes your day is spent waiting to go to the gym. You look forward to your days going to the gym. You don't want to take off days because you love the gym so much. And when self-improvement and just working on yourself can be enjoyed, that makes it so much easier to put in the hours, put in the work, and have a great time doing it as well. And when you get to a point where I like to say motivation can only last so long. You have to have a reason And
Yeah.
reasons can motivate you, but once you have a reason why you like want to get fit or why you want to achieve all these great things in life, it makes it so much easier to achieve them. You can watch these motivational gym videos and you can get hyped before the gym, and if that works for you, go for it. But long term, you need to find a reason why you want to seek self-improvement. And for me, it's I want to give my family the best life in the future. I want to be able to play with my children when I'm older and not have health problems weighing me down or weighing my family down. I just want to be my best self and contribute 100% of what I can and achieve 100% of my potential so that I can be my best self and be the best person to other people around me.
Yeah, for sure.
Have you had any like figures in your life or people who have specifically like motivated you or helped instill that work ethic to really push yourself hard?
Like, do you want me to list like a bunch of them or like main ones?
Main ones.
I'd say like, well, definitely my parents, they've definitely set that, like they've gotten the ball rolling with, what needs to be done and, being like just pretty much a role model person in general. A lot of like big athletes, I guess. So like, even though he's not a power lifter, but like before he died, I listened to like a lot of what Kobe did, or like what his mindset was, right? A lot of power lifters, and a big guy is David Goggins. I like listening to him.
That man is a beast.
Yeah, he was. He came from like a really crappy like backstory, but the main reason why he's one of my main role models, besides my family members, like my dad and my brother mainly, and my cousins, is because he brings that thing of like, oh, it doesn't matter where you came from, it matters what you're made out of. And when you're looking fear in the face, whether you run or you go towards the fight, that's who will determine what you are. That's one reason why he's one of my main role models, right next to my family member. Yeah,
that's amazing. Yeah, having somebody to like push you and to look up to is also something that I've talked about in the last few podcasts as well. But even if it's just a gym partner who's stronger than you, having somebody to motivate you to get out of bed when you're tired and don't want to get up, or to tell you you're coming to the gym with me, and really help you learn the grit and the hard-working nature that really is beneficial for you long-term. Did you have somebody like that who like got you up and really moved you to go to the gym, and like in sports even maybe?
I guess like in sport, like I guess not really any family members. It was just something I got into it myself. You can kind of say my coaches, but that's mainly the coach's job, is to get you active and to get you like going. But if you're talking like anyone, like I guess not like forcefully, but like my gym buddies, so like Colin or Patrick. And for anyone that doesn't know, Patrick is just another one of my friends. He's he's a sophomore, and he's also a pretty good power lifter. He's a great power lifter. Colin, Patrick, there's someone else. There's other people like that even Colin never met, just basically my gym buddies that I go with.
Yeah.
That's
even the people even the people lifting in the gym, and even if you don't know their name, they can motivate you too. Like I love being in that competitive nature where you're in the weight room and everyone is just grinding and everyone's pushing themselves hard and you can just see the sweat falling off people. That just makes you work so much harder and makes you push yourself to like the whole new level.
Yeah. That's what I love about it. Sometimes, I'm not really in that mood and I just want to like listen to my headphones and just, I guess tune into myself, or however you say that.
Yeah.
But, sometimes it's good to lift with a partner too. Like I remember there was like when I'm hitting my PRs, and also I wouldn't recommend doing this, but I've done some research and I don't know if it's necessarily harmful. Obviously, everything is harmful in excess. But like when I go for squats, I'd have a friend, and he had this little bottle of pneumonia, right? And it had a demon face on it. I'm like, oh, that doesn't look too bad. And then basically, like you catch a whiff of it, and then you're like, Jesus. And then you just become strong for like 30 seconds when you need to get that lift up.
That's
But
hilarious.
yeah, but pretty much just for the sheer enjoyment of it, and to have like a hype up partner or like a spotter, it's definitely a lot more helpful, very helpful, and just motivating and enjoyment in general. So
Yeah. What are your plans after high school?
I have a multiple amount of plans. Like I pretty much, this is gonna kind of sound bad, but I don't necessarily plan. Like I have plans after high school. It's just I don't have whenever I'm doing things, I don't have a foolproof plan. Like my plan is, go to college, become a psychologist. And then my backup is going to be, like a trade job, something like in the union, because they also make a lot of money. That, and then like this is the last case scenario, but I'm not bashing it at all because military is a great way, like a great career choice. But that'd definitely be like one of my last plans if stuff were like to not go as planned, then but pretty much I'd say that's my best guess and plans is just college psychology, and then as a backup go to school in a trade job. I'm not sure exactly what trade for sure, but I do have some like prior experience. Like my dad works in mobile home, like tear down and construction and stuff. So I've had a fair share of experience from it, not officially.
Yeah.
But pretty much just psychology, while also powerlifting. That's my goal is, whatever career I'm in, always have lifting as something that is going to be there.
Exactly.
So, yeah, that's pretty much it. It's just psychology or trade, or last case scenario, military, which, it's a pretty good last case scenario. So
exactly. What does the perfect gym look like for you? If you could pick the exact environment that you're in, the exact just like type of building that you're in as well, what would it look like for like you to achieve like your maximum lifts, like to have like the most enjoyment in a workout session?
I would say something like along the line, like environment wise, like vibe wise, like when I'm watching Ronnie Coleman's videos, something like that, like a Metroflex type gym. That's why is because it has that old feeling to it, like a powerlifting type gym. And I talked to my girlfriend about I was like, when I get a house, I want to get like, whether that's the basement or a garage, like basically wherever there's space, I want to have like at least 1 or 2 barbells, maybe use one for bench and squat and then one for deadlift. Those are the things that need to be there, is those barbells for squat, deadlift, and bench. And then, then there's the luxury stuff where it's like incline bench. And then, obviously a few dumbbells is needed too. But pretty much I'm more of an old school type guy. So I'd go for more of a Metroflex type vibe powerlifting gym.
I like that. That'd probably be my choice too. There's just something about that environment that
it's like it's authentic,
Yeah, you can smell the work that's been put in around you.
Yep.
I really like that. I know this answer, but what is your favorite exercise and why?
Yeah, you definitely noticed this. It's squat. I don't know. I just like squat because it's like, it's always. I've always had fun with it. It's always been my best lift. Philosophy wise and like morally wise, it teaches you like, something heavy takes you down, get up. And if you can't get up, always keep trying, like there was this one time, I was going for a PR on my squat. I think it was either 460 or 470. I think before I left the gym, before the gym closed, I think I hit like 470, 475. I think it was 475, but right around 470, it took me like 5 tries every time I would try to PR. And I usually I PR whenever I feel like it. Like I can't, like it might be like 2 months I might go without a PR, or maybe like 2 weeks later I go with a PR.
Yeah.
But it took me 5 tries in order to actually finally get a PR, you know. But I don't know. I like squat because well, in my opinion, and there's some debate over this, that deadlift is also the hardest, which it's also pretty hard too. But basically, I just like squat because it's, people think it's just, it's your legs and your glutes. It's a lot more than that too. It's your legs, it's your arms that are supporting you.
It's your
It's
back.
definitely your core. Yep, your back, your core. Your core is a big part of it. Like, I know when I'm going down, like, if people seen videos of me squatting, I'll go up and then like I'll kind of like it'll whip for a second because I'm bracing. So like that weird like kind of like stop. That's me bracing because
Hmm.
if you don't brace, you're gonna fold and you're gonna hurt something, So
Yeah.
definitely squat has just been my best exercise, and my legs just always been strong. I wasn't always the fastest, but damn it, my legs were strong as hell. So yeah.
I'd have to say squat's my favorite too. There's just something, it's such a hard exercise, especially when you go heavy, that you
Mhm.
can do like bicep curls all day and like they might be hard, but like you truly won't feel that level of fatigue and that level of just like using 100% of your body to accomplish a lift that squats give you. And that's why I personally like they're my favorite. And I love that feeling afterwards, like when you set the bar back on it and like you just get that weakness feeling in your legs and that stiffness and you have to
Mhm.
kind of like stumble, walk away. That's probably my favorite, and the reason why I love them so much.
Yeah. I remember this is like when I first discovered like heavy metal and like death metal, right? I actually I went to the gym with the flu. Not the best idea, but I try my best doing it. And that was the first time I guess I listened to like metal, and I went nuts. And the next day, it basically consisted of me getting up, walking to the couch, and then laying down for 6 hours because I could not move. Like just blinking and breathing, because obviously I had the flu, so breathing hurt. But just breathing and blinking hurt. My dad talked
Yeah.
about when he was in like the Mexican army. He would touch his head, his hairs, and it would hurt. I got that too. It was really painful. But it was fun. It was worth it. People call me crazy, but if I could have done it again, I probably would have. So
There's just something so satisfying about just
yeah.
the pain after a hard workout. And I can imagine it probably was a good 15 times worse, especially with the flu.
Mm-hmm.
But just knowing you put in the work and put in the hours, it's so satisfying. Like you knowing that the gains are gonna come back, you're gonna come back stronger and harder than ever. But yeah, working out while sick, I've definitely done that a few times too. I remember when I had Do you remember my knee last year?
Oh yeah,
That
yeah.
that was 2 years ago, 2 years or a year and a week ago. Like it was pretty recent. But I remember I woke up one morning, the leg was huge, and I was like, all right then. And I skipped the gym for like 2 days because I didn't know what it was, and I didn't want to like walk on it and like kill it. And then once
Yeah.
they told me like, oh yeah, you can move on and that's fine. And they still didn't know it was an infection back then. I remember going to the weight room and like using the crutches to get around the gym, and then having people bring me the weights and doing like bench and stuff like that. And I remember Mr. Davis, he looked at me, he smiled and he shook his head, and I knew at that point like I'm doing something right. Like this is why I lift, to be stronger, to be better, to have the mental hardness to push through even when like you're in agony.
Yeah. That's what that's why I like you seen CT Fletcher, he's a big I think I would say powerlifter, I guess. He's
Yeah.
part bodybuilder too, but before he had that like heart surgery, he would go crazy in the gym. Same thing with Ronnie Coleman. He goes like crazy, and then ended up with health problems because of how hard he pushed.
Yeah.
But afterwards, they got back to it and they got back into lifting. Some people who may not even lift, or even some people who do lift, like are like, oh, why would you do that? Why would you just keep putting your body in like danger like that? And it's a lot more to, like, obviously being healthy is one thing, but it's the sheer enjoyment out of it. It's like just it's something you can't necessarily describe to a point. It's like someone who loves singing, or someone who loves performing a instrument. It's the
They won't let
same
anything
type
stop them.
Exactly. That's pretty much what it is, and that's why we love doing it.
Yeah, such a great sport. It's has to be you. You don't have like a you can't have a lifting coach, but you don't have someone who's watching over your shoulder every second of your workout, who's forcing you to get up and go to do your sport. And for lifting, it's entirely self-driven, and that's why I love it so much. I'll get my workouts in. If I don't, I know that it was my fault that I didn't get my workouts in. But when I go hard and do amazing, I know that it was 100% me and my victory compared to someone else's. You can be on a football team, and as much as football is a great sport, you can not perform your best and still win. But for lifting, if you don't push yourself and don't make yourself work hard, you're not going to do well. You're not going to succeed. You're not going to live as a legend. It's entirely it's dependent on you. Your victories are your victories, but your losses are your losses if you don't put in the work that you need to put in.
Yeah, it's a lot of discipline, a lot of self responsibility. That's why I love doing it. It's and the thing about it is it's humbling too. I'll feel good after I hit a PR on bench, and then I'll see this guy with 3 plates repping out. He's like, yeah, I wasn't good as I once was. I hurt my shoulder. I'm like, yeah, okay. It's very humbling. It's obviously it's good to feel proud about yourself, but too much pride, then you get comfortable, and then you don't want to keep on going. The thing about it is, be proud of yourself, but don't be too proud.
Blissful dissatisfaction, where you're loving the process, you're in love with the process, but you're never happy with the result that you achieve.
Exactly. Yes.
I love that. If you had one piece of advice for people who are struggling to stay motivated and struggling to push through home workouts and just kind of still grind at home during the quarantine, what would it be?
I would say, start little by little and then eventually build off of that. So I did this anonymous YOLO thing, and this guy asked me, he's like, oh, I can't do push-ups. What would you recommend? And I told him just straight up, just do knee, we all started somewhere, so do knee push-ups,
Yeah.
Do lean against the wall and push off against it. And then as you progress, go for maybe 5 reps or 10 reps in a row, and then go for 20 reps. And then after that, try putting a backpack on with all these heavy things in it, and then do push-ups. Just always improve every time you try and exercise. That's why powerlifting, I try to improve, whatever I'm lacking in. So if I'm not doing good in squats, I'm like, oh, this program that I'm doing, I guess I use program loosely. I just mean oh, this style of working out that I'm using isn't giving me enough, I guess it's not producing as much power. So I'll either change up how much I eat. So I'll eat more, or usually if this is the case, I'll change up my workouts and I'll do a little bit more some heavy 5 to 8 rep stuff. But it's always good to start small and then build off of that, because as soon as you start building off, then that's where you see improvement, because if you keep doing the same thing over and over and over and over again, we as humans are very habit driven creatures, so we're gonna be getting used to that in a while. So my best advice would be, start small. Start with going on if I'm half a mile walk, and then after that go for a mile walk, and then try a run or try a half a mile run. Build off of that, and then basically as soon as you have your steady foundation going, just take off.
Exactly. I forgot to ask you this, but where are your lifts now currently, or before quarantine? Where were they at their peak?
So for squat, I can't remember. I think it was either 470 or 475. I have it.
I think I remember you saying you got 475. I remember because I think you hit 470, and then a day later you went for it again and you hit 475.
Yep. Deadlift. And this is because I started late. Yeah, that I had 475. That was actually I think like 6 in the morning too. Yeah, that was nuts. 445 for deadlift. I do conventional. You know, people say,
Yeah.
oh, like, and I know you do sumo, but some people were like, oh, and I'm not bashing you for it, but it's like, oh, the sumo's cheating. I don't really care. Like, that's
Exactly.
your choice.
Yeah.
Some people actually, Colin actually told me I should try sumo. I've tried it like maybe for a set. I couldn't get that feel.
It
Which
started off
okay.
harder for me. I remember sumo deadlift was
Mhm.
actually it was much harder for me than conventional. And
Yeah.
then when you really get your form driven down, and I feel like dude, if you tried sumo and you really started practicing it and you built those motor neuron pathways, you could
Mhm.
probably put up 600 pounds pretty quickly. Think of like how strong your squat is,
Yeah.
and it
Plus, I
being
got long arms too. Yeah.
exactly, dude. I'd be curious if you went on like a sumo program for like 2 months and just saw how high you could get it. I think you could smoke me easily and many other people as well. So I'd love to see you try sumo more.
Yeah. I'll see about that. But yeah, 445 for deadlift. I got pretty close to 450, and then I was actually gonna do a PR attempt like the next day, and then I found out, oh, the gym closed. So yeah, it's kind of sad. And then bench was a bit iffy for me. You know, I'm not able to improve as much as I once was before with bench. The best I hit for 225 was 8, but I want to say 295. And then there's that one day I hit 300, but it was really sloppy. Like I started I think my butt came off the bench a little bit. So
Yeah, not a PR
yeah,
attempt you want to count.
I was kind of iffy on it. I didn't I touched my chest and I went down, but it's just I don't know. It was
Yeah,
iffy. So I'm gonna go with like a 290, between a 295 and a 300 squat. So just take the 300 with a grain of salt, you know. So
yeah. Those numbers are really impressive. I can't wait to see what you're gonna do in the future.
yeah,
Dude, your numbers, they're gonna be massive. They're gonna be even bigger than they are now, and they're big now.
yeah. I think
That's
my biggest thing now is gonna be gaining weight. I've been stuck at came in freshman year. I remember it's elementary school. I didn't work out at all. I didn't do any athletics. I made a try soccer club. That was how I got into athletics, soccer. That wasn't surprising. I wasn't good at it, but I had fun. I was at like 160, 5'6", no muscle at all. Just 5'6", and then like 160 pounds of just pure chubs. You know, and there's some people out there who are like, you know, like big chunky powerlifters, you know, like Blaine Sumner. He's one of my favorite guys. You just see these huge guys going down. But anyways, you know, that was elementary school. I couldn't do much about it. I was the little Arturo then. And then middle school, I got into soccer again, and then I dropped it. 7th grade, I started playing football. I did football until sophomore year. Technically junior year, but I only did Pride Camp. I didn't do it junior year this year. But yeah, pretty much. I forgot what I was saying. Pretty much how it started was just since like I think at 7th grade I was like 140, and then after that I like gained weight. I got to 160, and then after my freshman year of football, I actually started eating a lot more and powerlifting seriously. I still wasn't deadlifting at the time seriously, but you know, and I gained from 160 to 180. So between that 7th grade span to now, which is about 4 years, I gained 40 pounds. So
yeah.
that's pretty good. I guess my senior year goal was be 210. And unless I like somehow find some ungodly blessing of gains, it's gonna be rough, but it's yeah.
You'll get there.
I guess yeah.
Thanks for coming on, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, I appreciate it.
Where can they find
Thank
you on
for
social
having me.
media?
For Instagram, it's just basically specifically it's King X and then _X Silva. I'll post a lot of like motivational things. I'll sometimes post music on my stories, or I'll just post things about my life on there. And then I spelled it wrong for Snapchat, but it's anonymous. The first AN, it's going to be ANNONY MOUS. Yeah, I was like 13 when I made this. And 115. It was, that was pretty fun. But yeah, that's pretty much my main sources of where I usually communicate from.
Well, everyone, go make sure you follow him. I love hearing like the mindset stuff and hearing how people think. I really enjoyed it a ton. I think there's a ton of people in the audience who could probably benefit this from as well. Just pushing hard and not letting anything stop you. But make sure you go follow him. And thanks for watching, everyone. Peace.